Welcome back. The Tamil diaspora has shown grave concern about the war and the plight of the displaced civilians over the past 6 months or so. Violent protests, pro-LTTE demonstrations, hunger chains. These are just some of the methods they have used in order to get their message across to Sri Lanka via the international media. Though this has made their motives suspicious in the eyes of many Sri Lankans, there are those of the Tamil diaspora who are eager for a more moderate, apolitical approach to their interactions with the country and its people. I spoke to one such individual, Maya Bastian, during her first visit to Sri Lanka after 10 years. Hi Maya, thanks for joining me on the program.
Hi.
Okay. Now you've grown up in Toronto, where it's a city that a lot of people know is populated by members of the Tamil diaspora. What has the mood been like there during the past few months with the war in Sri Lanka and now that the war is over?
Well, from the beginning of the year up until about April or May, there was a lot of press coverage of what was happening over here, and I'm sure that you heard about the protests and all that sort of stuff happening. So there was a lot of Tamils in and around the downtown Toronto area where I live, whereas usually there's not so many. So there was a lot of solidarity, and people were very upset. People were very scared. I don't feel like the press always covered what was happening accurately. I don't know, but it was a frightening time for everybody.
Well, you mentioned the protests, and not just in Canada but all over the world. Mm-hmm. The diaspora has been demonstrating against the government to voice their concerns, but in quite extreme ways. And this in Sri Lanka has caused a bit of a negative view of diaspora members. Do you think there's a way that they could mobilize themselves to carry on maybe a more constructive argument with the government?
Well, I think that is the problem, is the mobilization, because I feel from my experience that the diaspora is kind of split, and that there are those that are, obviously you've seen the pictures in support of the LTTE with the flags and that, but there's a lot of people who aren't, and who don't want, just want peace and some sort of security for the Tamil people in Sri Lanka. So I think that is sort of the main problem. I knew a lot of Tamil people in Canada who did not attend the protests because of those flags and because of that sort of atmosphere. So the only thing I think it would be better if putting the flags aside and just coming together as one people to support, the rehabilitation of the Tamils back into their land and their life.
So you feel they may not be united in the sense of who they support, but yes, they're united in their concern for the displaced people.
Absolutely, and I think everybody is looking for peace. After so long of fighting and so long of upheaval, everybody is looking for peace. That's what they're united in, but I would like to see them come together in that respect and leave their political alliances aside.
Okay. Now you mentioned that you weren't getting the impression that you were seeing the whole story when you were consuming international media. So you came here to see for yourself. Do you encourage other diaspora members to do the same?
Well, I certainly will now, after coming here and feeling fairly safe. I mean, there's a lot of people who, when I was coming here, discouraged me and told me it's not safe, and there's a lot of rumors that go around within the diaspora. But coming here, it's very safe, and I will certainly, when I go back, encourage people to come and revisit and come back to their homeland.
So what's your experience been like the last few weeks?
It's been amazing to see this country again and to feel a part of it again. It's certainly, there's a lot of questions in the air, and politically there's a lot of upheaval, and that's sort of interesting to try and understand what's going on. But this country is beautiful. I've managed to travel a lot around, and it's so beautiful, and I have great hopes that, something will change, and there will finally be some peace and some respect for the Tamil people.
Have you seen what you've seen of all these areas? Do you think it's positive? It's looking positive?
I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to hope, and that will always be there. But I think right now it's sort of everything's in limbo, and we're waiting to see what decisions that the government makes. And so, there's a lot of sadness. I feel a lot of sadness in the Tamil people here and in the diaspora back home. So it's just a matter of, I guess, waiting and seeing what will come of this.
Maya, my last question to you is a personal one. Do you think that people like you in the diaspora would eventually consider making Sri Lanka your home again?
I would like to. I would like to come and live here. I think there's a lot of opportunity here, and I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful place. We'll see. We shall see what the diaspora feels. I know that there's a lot of nostalgia among the diaspora, Tamil diaspora. They want to come back. They miss their home. A lot of people have said to me, I'd love to go back, but I don't think I ever will. And there's sort of tears in people's eyes when they say that. So, hopefully with some sort of resolution, they can come back, and that's what I guess we'll see in the future. It would be nice, though. It would be very nice.
Well, I hope that becomes a reality.
Maya's sentiments are indicators of the positive role that the diaspora could play in Sri Lanka's future. It has been nearly 2 months since the war was officially declared over, and as the euphoria settles, it's time to realize that there is much to regain as a country in order to truly be at peace once again. That's all we have for you today. If you have any comments or suggestions, please contact us using the details provided on screen. Until next week, thanks for watching.